This is Emma Christine. I want to welcome you to Emma Christine Sewing Innovations. Here today, like I earlier on said in our Facebook page, that we'll be learning a lot of things. Also be sharing sewing experiences. Today I want us to just a simple thing, the high-low gown. So first of all, I'll focus on teaching you how to cut the full flake of a high-low gown. But the problem there is there's a little mathematics we are going to try learning today that will aid us forever whenever we want to cut anything that has to do with a full flake or a circle skirt or an umbrella skirt, as some people may call it. Now let us try to recall when we were in secondary school, in the primary school, when we taught the circumference of a circle. If you remember what we call the 2 pi r, that is the circumference of a circle, where we say the pi is 22/7, or approximately decimal wise 3.1428. Now, approximately, I want to work on 2df, that's 2 decimal places. Now, instead of having to use 3.1428, I'll be using 3.14. Why? Because the 2 there is not up to 5, so I will not approximate it. So it will be 3.14. Now, I have here, I will call the circumference of a circle to be the waist circumference plus our seam allowances. Usually, I like using 2 inches, which I feel is very comfortable as a seam allowance for any dress I make. So that if on the long run your client complains of growing fat, you can easily loosen and adjust. If your client complains to be growing slim, it still doesn't make any difference. But when you use a half inch or 1 inch seam allowance, you find it difficult trying to adjust such dresses. Now, let us get down to business. 2 pi r, like I said, we'll call it COC. What I mean is circumference of a circle. But I want to tell you that circumference of a circle here now means the waist circumference plus our 2 inches, which is the seam allowance. Now, 2 pi r equals COC. What do I do? I want to make r the subject of the formula. Making r a subject of the formula means dividing both sides by 2 pi. So this means r, you see there's a 2 pi below, and COC, making another 2 pi the denominator in the left hand side and in the right hand side. Now I cancel out, and I have my r to be COC over 2 pi. Remember that I told you earlier on that our pi will be 3.14. So it simply means r becomes waist circumference. Here I want to use waist circumference of 20 plus 2 inches seam allowance all over what? Our what? 2 times 3.14. This implies that I'm saying 22 divided by what? 6.28. And this will give me 3.503. Remember, the 3 is not up to 5. Approximately 2 decimal places, 3.50. This is what I'll be using as my radius in trying to cut this. Now, we are going to get back to business by trying to now work on the fabric. I assume this brown paper is the fabric now. Now, I am going to work on this. If I have the full length to be 18, it simply means I'll fold this into 2. Watch the way. Remember, whenever you are cutting, you want to cut your fabric or you cut whatever you're trying to work on, you don't cut with the front. You always use the wrong side of the fabric. So when we cut this into, we place this into 2, you measure. I'm using a brown paper, but when I will try showing you the fabric, you will see what I mean. Now, we'll now have to fold this into 2. You see? You see, I have something like this. Now I'll take my tape and try to get the measurements. Remember, 3.5. This is 3 inches. This is 3.5 here. You move a little. 3.5. I use my crossing this in as if I'm trying to graph something. 3.5. You see, this is it. then another 3.5 here. Now with our French curve, if you have any, if you don't, you still use the free hand, but you have to be very careful. See the way I'm taking it to make sure it crosses in between the arteries I've made. Now this is it. Remember I said if you have a full length to be 18 now and my half cut to be 8, you have to deduct the half cut. Remember you add sewing allowances, but because the brown paper is very small, I just want us to get the basic behind cutting of the full flames. Now this is, if I remove the 8 inches, you see I'm having 10. This is 10 across. This is it. This is it. Now you try joining this. Okay. You have to be very careful. I don't have a French curve here. So let's come here. Yeah, this is it. This is it. You will now have to cut this. See the way I'm cutting, you have to be careful so that your fabric doesn't move while cutting. Then you cut this. Now, you see what we have. This is that because it's a brown paper, it wouldn't, if it's a fabric, it will go down. You see it very well. So this is what you have. Now watch what's going to happen. This is assumed to be the back. I do this because I like having to sew it back. So I have something like this. This is the back. This is the back. You have to make it this way so that you'll be able to get the front higher than the back lower. Now, remember we cut with the full length, the full measurement. The full measurement, that's the full part, 18 below. We took 8, so this is 10. What I do now is I try as much as I can. The client may have said, please make it go up a little. Let us assume here that we want to make 6. To be the front has to be 6. Remember this cut tells you this is where the front ends. So I make a 6 here. I make another 6 here, 6 inches. I make 6 inches here. I may decide as I'm going down, maybe half of it to go. Watch what's going to happen. I may decide to come down 7 because I do not want it to jump very well and look somehow. So it's watch what is happening. I make 8. I can decide now to give a 9. Maybe here 9. So I can decide to cut to add it. As you're adding, you're watching it. See? So I just do this way. Now, you quietly follow that pattern. See? See what's going to happen now. Remember, this is our back, as I told you, the open part. Now, this is what we'll be having. This is what you'll be having. This is how a high-low will look like. Remember, this is paper. That's why it's looking stiff. So by the time you add it, By the time you add it, you have to put it below. You notice this side goes up, the other side goes down. Thank you very much for watching. I will appreciate if you try practicing this, then turn in your assignments. It gives me more joy to see we are trying to learn. There's no perfect being, but as we keep learning, you achieve perfection. Remember, this is Emma Christine Sewing Innovation. Thank you very much.